Sergeant Hewitt and Deputy Jarrod Hewitt are both exemplary members of this organization, and there's no doubt that they're going to put their life at risk for other people as they did during the fire.
On Sunday, June 24th, 2018, I was sitting at the house. It was my day off. I received a call from Captain Coulter telling me that there was a fire north of East Point, and they might need to call me out for some help.
I believe it was supposed to have been a control burn that had been put out a day or two before, and the wind picked it up and then it just spread.
My goal was to get out there and start going door to door and advising people.
You go to a couple houses and you're knocking, and nobody's answering. And there's vehicles in the driveway. You don't know if people are home or people, and so you're like just trying your best to get, so I'd go and I'd hit my sirens, I'd beat on the door, and then you turn around and the fire was everywhere. A call came over the radio about a vehicle that had run off in the ditch at the curve on Buck Street. So I made my way through the flames, and I mean, it was so dark and you couldn't hardly see 10 foot in front of your vehicle.
And that's when I said, well, I'm gonna go down to Buck Street to the curve because I know it ain't real far, and see if I can find this residence. And when I turned onto Buck Street, both sides of the road were on fire. Balls of fire were blowing across the road. It was like it was raining fire. I drove down to the curve, and when I got to the curve, I'm like, where's the truck? And I drove a little further, and it was right there. It was only like 2 or 3 yards from the front of my truck. The front of the truck was in the ditch. The bushes on it, beside the truck, were on fire. I get out of my truck and I look across there, and there's the blue lights in the vehicle, and I recognize it is my son's vehicle. There was a relief that comes over knowing that he's coming out of there.
As I pulled up, he had his headlights on so I could see his vehicle. And as I got out, I realized it was my dad. It was just that, we gotta get this done, and we gotta help these people. I jumped into the bed of the truck, and as I jumped into the bed of the truck, it was actually on fire. And so we, started beating on the doors.
Somebody opened the door, and I said, get out, the truck's on fire. And he said, my son's in the back seat. And at that point, I went to the back door, because it was a 4-door, opened the back door, and I grabbed the son, come out with him, told him to come on, and my son got on the other side and got the wife out.
A father, a mother, a kid, and their cat. And we pulled them out, and I placed them in my patrol vehicle, and then I proceeded out. There was over 36 homes destroyed and over 900 acres burnt.
When we got through, the emotions were high, but we was relieved that nobody had been killed during this incident.
They went out there into the flames. They saved those folks that were, trapped in their car at the time. I'd just like to say, thank you to both of them for being a part of our agency. They're both an asset, and we're proud to have them.
We're running into the fire and everybody's running out, and those were literally true words on that day, because the fire was so intense and moving so quickly. These 2 deputies stayed to save lives.
It's a privilege working with my father and being able to work alongside him and being able to be there with him and to learn from him as on the job.
I've always been proud of my sons. I got 2. One's in corrections and one's in law enforcement. I got some good kids, and I'm proud of both of them.
I just want to thank the people who nominated me, and I want to thank the Florida Sheriff's Association for receiving this award. I mean, it's an honor to actually have my father and I receive it at the same time. It's amazing.
I like to thank Captain Coulter. I don't think I'd have been where I was at the time if it hadn't been for him. He was thinking about people. I also like to thank my wife. This job, you got to have somebody that backs you and understands. I thank her. Each and every person that goes out every day and puts this uniform on deserves to be recognized. And I just appreciate the Florida Association recognizing us in our community.